This island was made from your comments, and it has everything from a TARDIS over here on the far right to Trixie's cutie mark and even a plushy ball pit over here on the left. It has so many things, but I thought I could take this challenge of getting your comments and creating an entire island from scratch based on those comments and kind of tweak it a little bit and do something different and take this island right here and slowly change it with your comments. I posted this picture up here on my community post and asked you guys to comment one specific thing that you would love to change or multiple things you would love to change on this island, and I went through the comments and changed everything on the island multiple iterations later, and we got something very crazy, so stick around to the end of the video to see it. But this is what we started with. We have a very basic beach over here on the very bottom, as you can see right here. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, it's all very pixelated when I zoom in, but we have that in these nice little random homes. This was a village map I made many years ago, and I figured why not give it a remake, a remodel, a makeover, and we'll use your comments to do just that. So, after getting all your comments and stuff like that, here is the first iteration of what was changed. Boom, it's day now. Ooh, that's crazy. Another little fun game we can play here on the side is trying to figure out where Skella is. So where is Skella? Comment below where she is. But let's start with the beach down here in the bottom right, because we have a couple of things. Obviously, we have the beach here. Very nice, very lovely, but it's all differently shaped. The grass above here is completely, like, mostly eradicated and stuff like that and turned into sand and stuff, and it was just kind of overall a good suggestion to kind of expand the beach. I'm still a little bit upset that we can't keep the flatness of the beach, because if you've ever been to a beach, they're flat, like the shoreline is flat. They're never this weird shape, but I can understand why people think that it looks better that way, because it kind of does. It just doesn't look realistic anymore. One key note here is that someone wanted Fez to burn. It's very nice. Someone wanted a cat over here, and someone wanted me to take all the dirt and turn it into orange carpet because the floor is lava or something like that, right? And so that's what it is, and that's what we got these random patches of orange at. So if we take a look at the first one, you can see where all the dirt is, and in this one, all the dirt is now lava or orange. Ooh, wacky. We also got this plushy pit, not this plushy pit, but this like collection of cushions and stuff like that for a cuddle session. So if someone wanted to do a cuddle session, they could do it there. That was what the comment was, I believe. Someone wanted me to add more nature and stuff like that on the left side, and also they also wanted me to put the boat on the docks. Instead of having it off the island, how the other one was, they wanted me to put it on the docks. I thought that comment was very weird, but hey, why not, you know? Because we're doing every comment that people suggest, and that was one of them. Overall, though, not too much. I think the shed is also new right here. Someone wanted me to put a shed there with some garden tools and whatnot, as well as some more towels on the beach and all that other stuff. So nothing too crazy here, but it is about to get crazier because, again, I took this version of it, posted it on my community post, and asked again, change anything on this island, be careful not to contradict each other. And we got this iteration now. This is one of the most startling changes because right off the bat, there is this big pink square around the entire island. The boat is in the middle now instead of down here in the bottom left. The bottom left also just looks weird now because you got obviously the pink carpet running through here and it kind of destroys part of it. Someone wanted me to put the pink border around the entire island. I don't know why they wanted that, but they did. Another thing, too, is someone, for some reason, wanted this small lake over here in the left side to become ice, so we made that part ice. Why not? Don't know why they wanted that. Someone also wanted 4 squares of stone in the top left. Someone wanted me to put carpet under the tree over here for some reason. Then we have this right here. Boom, it's supposed to be like a little cottage house. A lot of people took this like little experiment kind of weird, and they kept suggesting things for me to add to the island versus things to change on the island. I'm fine with adding stuff to the island, but at a certain point it got extremely difficult because I ran out of space. I'd already put in the tent from earlier comments. I'd already put in this fireplace, or not fireplace, but this fire pit here, the campfire or whatever with marshmallow sticks over here. I already done all of that over there. I'd already put in the picnic over here. I'd already made this shed over here. I've already put the boat here in the middle, and so I can't do much with that anymore. I even made this rainbow road over here because someone wanted me to turn this little section into, Well, they didn't even say that section. They just said somewhere on the stone path, make it rainbow or something. And so that's what I did. But there was just a lot that I did everywhere else that when someone asked me to add an entire new building, I didn't know what to do with it. So I just shoved it over here because they didn't say where to put it and they didn't say how big it could be. And so I outsmarted them there, I think. But it's kind of hard to see in this image, but there is a fez inside this fireplace as well, or this campfire or whatever, because someone wanted me to burn another fez because, as you saw before, I burned fez in the previous iteration, and someone wanted me to burn fez again. But yeah, those are some major changes here because we got obviously the pathway here. Someone wanted me to have a garden over here. I don't remember if that was in the previous iteration here or not. Was it in the last one? It was in the last one. Someone wanted the little garden over here on the left by that little house. And then you can see how it's changed from here to here, here to here. Also, yeah, another key thing to note as well, someone told me to remove all that carpet because it looks bad, and I'm kind of glad they did that because they kind of saved the build a little bit. Oh, and another thing too is we got a little Among Us dude over here. Look at him. He's kind of hard to see here, but he's a little Among Us dude. Someone wanted me to put a small Among Us somewhere, and there you have it. These were a lot of changes here. They also wanted me to add more seashells and stuff like that, so I added more seashells. But of course, the beach just looks garbage now because the pink and everything just surrounding the whole island, and it's just weird. And of course, we have our ugly tent there and a little camping area, and of course, the picnic, because someone always wants me to add a picnic area to these kinds of things. But now we move on to our next iteration, which also happens to be our final iteration of the changes. I took that image from the previous image, put it up on my Discord server, and asked people on my Discord server this time to change anything on this island, and I got a handful of comments. Some of them are excellent. First thing to notice right off the bat is that it is now winter instead of summer, but there's still a lot of trees that are still summer, which is really weird. Ooh, that's wacky. I'll explain that in a second. But another thing to note too is that there's a lot of yellow now on screen. We, of course, our pink border is now yellow, so this border that stretches everywhere is yellow. All the buildings are yellow. The picnic is yellow. The rose bushes are yellow now. The tent is yellow. I also changed the campfire because someone wanted me to change the campfire. I changed the marshmallows to also be yellow, so there's just a weird yellow egg there now. We got some ugly things over here on this side now too. We got, of course, the gay pool, which has been there for a minute. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And of course, all the other buildings are also yellow. These candles are kind of hard to see because it's zoomed in so much, but they're also yellow now. All the firefly lanterns are yellow now. The gay street right here has been turned to yellow. This picnic area has been added, and those rocks have been destroyed and replaced with picnics, and they're also yellow now. Just a lot of yellow. Someone wanted me to come through here and make every single thing that's possibly to turn into yellow and make it yellow. Every single thing I can possibly make yellow was the comment. And so that's what I did. And that was overall probably the biggest change, and it took the longest because I had already made so many new things to the island and everything. You could see even the cuddle area over here is yellow. That little carpet under there is yellow now. All this stuff is yellow now, and it was a nightmare to deal with. And then we get into this ice lake, which someone told me specifically to turn into ice instead of water. I believe they said that my water rights were revoked or something, and they turned it into ice. Then we got this lone pine tree up here in the top left, which is also now frozen. This was actually, like I said, the final iteration. So if I come on here right now and load the map, load map 14, I now have the final iteration. You can kind of see some of the things a little bit better now because I can actually walk around. I'm eating a leaf for some reason. But here, first off, I wanted to show the fez in better light. It is indeed yellow candles there now. I wish I wouldn't have picked that up. Oh well. We got our little barbecue pit here on the beach, which is now frozen, so it looks a little bit goofier. Obviously, everything is still yellow because, you know, that was the major change. Someone wanted me to add this broken bridge, so I added a bridge, but broken. Wow. Someone wanted me to add fairy rings, and so there you go. There's one over there, and there's a couple more as we pass by. There is the campfire. This is supposed to be a camera, a three-eyed creature face, and a terrible telescope because I don't know how to do that. But I tried my best, and that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say about this other than the fact that you guys made some wacky suggestions. My idea going through this was that people would try to work together to try and make something good, but overall people just kind of just did whatever they wanted to, and I'm not that surprised, but at the same time I'm disappointed and slightly surprised. Here's a terribly made cat, by the way. It's made out of like raw cookies, I believe is what they're called. And no one ever got rid of the cat, which is nice. Overall, too, though, like, a lot of the changes that were made, not very many of them were actually overwritten. Not all of them were reworked. Like, for example, the boat. It kind of stayed the same from the previous iteration to this iteration. The cuddle pit thing over here, these pillows here, that didn't really change. No one asked me to change it other than to make it yellow. A couple of things like that, right? The garden over here was one of the very first suggestions, and it was already changed. Like, it stayed the same forever. Let's see what else. Someone asked me to add rose bushes, and then they never asked me to remove any rose bushes, so we just kept them. The border around the whole island, no one, I'm slightly disappointed, but no one asked me to actually change that. I was really hoping someone would ask me to remove it and replace it back with like dirt or just whatever else, just water or something, so that it's gone. But no one ever asked me to, and I did my best not to use like contradictory comments and stuff like that. But I think a couple of them still kind of slipped through a little bit, because the make everything yellow and then change the season to winter kind of ruined all the roses, and so I had to fix them back, because otherwise it's not yellow anymore. Anyway, there was a lot of like weird things like that, and overall it was a fun thing. I might do this again in the future, but let me know in the comments below if you want to see something like this again in the future, and let me know what is your favorite change on the island. Here's the original version here, and here's what we ended up with. So here's what we got, and here's what we have now, right? This is what we have, and this is what we started with. What we started with, what we started with, what we have now. What we started with, what we have now. It's crazy. It's some kind of change. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.